Some people are fighting battles that we know nothing about.
Pediatrics, a lot of the times when kids have brain tumors, it's harder to tell that they have them because kids are younger. They're not walking, they're not talking. It's the little things, and mostly it's the parents that can tell that something's up, but it actually takes usually a longer time to diagnose a pediatric brain tumor.
When we came back from the pediatric doctor, my wife noticed that one of his eyes were drooping.
He just was not acting right at all. And one of the things about Anthony is he's always smiling.
He was an absolute joy.
He smiled all the time.
Smiled all the time. Smiled all the time. And one of the worries, I think, was that, maybe he'd stop smiling.
The type of tumor Anthony had is called a choroid plexus papilloma. They're relatively benign, and the only way to fix them is to remove them entirely.
Anthony's brain tumor is located very deep in his brain and had a very robust or vigorous blood supply.
The tumor actually makes excessive amounts of spinal fluid, so the spinal fluid accumulates inside the brain and causes an increase in pressure inside the head.
Even though you don't want the answer to be, yes, I see it, yes, it was. Now is the time for us to go back to Yale.
He was just, in our eyes, a normal little boy who got sick.
They said, we're gonna let you know exactly what we know and be 100% honest with you. I'll never forget his face. He was like, there's a mass on your son's brain. So we cried for like 10 minutes maybe, and then everything happened really fast after that.
The room filled up with every neurological team, social worker, chaplain, came into our room all in one shot.
It's not often that you have the whole neuro team up there within 2 hours ready to go.
I kept saying, like, is my son gonna die? We just really weren't getting a straight answer until we met Dr. DeLuna. I just met the man who was gonna fix it.
We went in through the left side of Anthony's head and removed the tumor and found the blood vessel and were able to safely close it off. This tumor was the size of a small orange, so it was taking up a good size, a good amount of space inside Anthony's head.
Because Anthony came out of anesthesia, he didn't smile, he wasn't himself. He was like scared, didn't want to come to either one of us.
Like, what if the reason why he was smiling so much his whole life is because the tumor was like pressing on something?
I remember he was like laying on the bed and we had just came to go see him, and like no one could like make him smile or anything.
We were trying everything just to make him smile.
We tried like the woes and like her hair thing, and we couldn't get him to laugh.
4 days he didn't smile, and they finally, Ramsar finally got a video of him smiling, and I walked in the next day, they're like, he finally smiled.
He smiled. He smiled. He smiled. And we all just converged onto the bed.
You look at what he went through when he was born and where he is right now, and you can tell he's very alert, like a young one should be. And whatever he does, it's kind of an amazing thing of where he came from, where he's at.
When we first were in the hospital with Anthony, they told us 5-10 years ago he probably would be sent home to die. Somebody down the road somewhere raised awareness, research, and because of that, our son's alive now. So I think it's important for us, because he did so well, to do something for other people, to help them down the road. Once we knew Anthony was okay, we kind of sat down and were like, what are we gonna do first? When we originally started Anthony's Army, we just wanted to spread awareness for brain tumors, for pediatric brain tumors. But I think it's a little bit more than that. It's just about being kind to other people. You don't know what battle people are fighting. His attitude is gonna make a difference in the world that way, because he's just so positive.
Just knowing you have a supportive, loving environment, and if there's people willing to do things that you don't even know, people like just willing to give you things and be there for you, that's huge.
I remember it was so cold in there, and there was like blankets that people would make for Anthony, and it was just so nice to know that people were thinking about someone they didn't even know. So we wanted to do that for other children and families.
Anthony's Army will provide a survival kit for the parents to be closer to their children. They don't have to leave for a bottle of water. There'll be a bottle of water and whatever else we decide to put in the bag. People who fly in or by ambulance, there's nobody around them. So Anthony's Army will be their, so to speak, their family.
Some people literally go there with nothing and they spend the next 14 days with nothing.
I think it makes anyone going through it more aware of what to expect and how things go, and it'll bring like hope to everyone and let them know that it's possible.
So when you get to see a kid that's made it through all that and still can smile and still can just be the happiest kid, it's really rewarding.
We anticipate that Anthony's going to have a long and happy life, and we're so pleased that he's doing so very well.
The surgery, the process leading up to the surgery took years off everyone's lives, including myself and his parents. And to see this as the reward, you couldn't ask for anything better than that.